All right, welcome back everyone. Dr. Ben, not a real doctor here. You don't need a long workout session to make little tune-ups to your body. Today's gonna be a micro movement session that you can space out throughout the day that's gonna focus on the lower body. It's only 3 movements, it's a few reps of each movement, and it's gonna do a lot to help you maintain or improve the mobility, the strength, and the resilience in your lower body. We're gonna start this micro movement session off with hip hinges. I'm just gonna cover them real quick. So hip hinge, all you're gonna do is find the crease. You've got the point of your hips here on the side of your leg. Come across the front to find the crease of your hip, and that's where you want to bend from. All right, you don't want to be using your back a whole bunch. So bending at the hips, you're gonna have to shift your hips backwards as your torso comes forward. Your weight should be mostly on your heels, especially as you get further down towards your end range of motion. And then you're just gonna come back up very slowly and controlled. And as you're doing this, pay attention to what your knees are doing, where your knees are pointing. If you feel like your knees are pointing in weird directions, try and keep your knees pointed straight forward as you do this. All right, that's gonna highlight some imbalances in your muscles, and you're going to wanna correct these as you're doing the exercise. So that's the point of this tune-up, to work on your movement patterns. So hip hinge, till you feel a slight pull in your hamstrings, and then back up. So that's exercise number 1. Exercise number 2 is just gonna be a body weight squat. So you're gonna set your feet about hip to shoulder width apart, and you're gonna start very similar to the hip hinge. All right? So you're gonna start by shifting your hips backwards, just like you did with the hip hinge. And once you get your hips back about 3, maybe 4 inches, you're gonna start bending your knees. Again, keeping your weight back towards your heels. Pay attention to what your knees are doing. You want those knees straight over your second toe. All right, so shift your weight back, bend your knees, drop your hips down to a comfortable position, and come back up. So that's the body weight squat. Again, shift your hips back, bend your knees and drop your hips to a comfortable position. Keep your knees over your second toe the whole time and come back up. And the final movement is gonna be a split squat. So we're gonna take a slightly wider stance on this split squat just because I want you guys to work on your hip extension. All right, so go as wide as is comfortable. That's how we're gonna judge this, all right, comfort. And you want your toes both pointing straight forward, and you want to try and keep your torso upright, and you're just going to drop your knee down as low as comfortable. If you need to put a pad, a pillow, a bolster, anything under your knee, that's fine for either comfort or to limit your range of motion to a comfortable range of motion. So again, torso upright, drop your knee all the way down to a comfortable position, and then back up. All right? With all of these exercises, I want you guys to focus on range of motion. We're not gonna be doing a lot of reps. You wanna do these slow and controlled, and you're focusing on the movement pattern rather than the work. This is a movement tune-up, remember? So this whole thing you can do in just a few minutes. So we're gonna run through it real quick. We're gonna do 5 reps of the hip hinge, 5 bodyweight squats, and then 3 lunges on each side, all right? So we're gonna start with the hip hinge. Find your hips, and we're just gonna go down slow and controlled, and back up. 4 more. Again. Feel what your body's doing. See if things are twisting out of the way in a way that they shouldn't. Good. 3 more. And again, don't force the movement. When you start to feel a little pull in your hamstrings, that is the end of the range of motion for right now. It'll improve with time. 2 more. And last one. Nice. We're going to move on to the bodyweight squats. So remember, hip hinge and then drop your hips. Watch your knees stay over your second toe. And slow and controlled movements. 3 more. 2 more. Again, don't force the movement. 1 more. Just use the range of motion that is comfortable for you. Pain is an indicator that something is wrong. All right, we're gonna go with the split squat, left foot forward. 3 reps on this side. Torso upright, and you're just gonna drop your weight down. And again, nice and slow and controlled. Remember, we're building movement patterns here. Switch sides, and 3 on this side. Good work. Last one. And there you go. That's the whole micro movement session. So the point of this little micro movement session is to help you get more movement into your day. We have a muscle training mindset where you go to the gym, you work out your muscles for an hour, and then you go about your business. This is designed so that you can do this 3, 5, 8 times a day. It only takes a few minutes. If you have more time, you can run through it a couple times. But if you do this numerous times throughout the day, say if you do it even 5 times a day, try it for 2 weeks, 5 times a day for 2 weeks. It only takes a few minutes. Tailor the range of motion to what works for you right now. Don't try and force the range of motion. As you get better, add more range of motion before you add more reps. The goal is not to make this a full workout, that's it, you're done with all your movement for the day. This is a way to use your body in a larger range of motion throughout the day to build more strength, more mobility, and more resilience. So, again, try this 5 times a day for 2 weeks and see how you feel. Let me know. I'd love to hear in the comments. But this little tiny tune-up micro movement session throughout the day can make a big difference in your ability to move. If you like this little micro movement session, let me know in the comments down below. I love sharing simple stuff like this with you that you can implement right now and make big changes in a relatively short period of time with a little bit of time commitment. Anyway, that's all I've got for you today. If you liked the video, smash that thumbs up. If you know someone who can benefit from the video, share it with them. And if you haven't already subscribed, please consider subscribing. Till next time, keep your life in motion.